Good evening. In the past, we have a session in which we talked about the difference between web service and Java message service. And at the end of that session, we promised you to have a practical case study about using GMS. Exactly in the last session, we have a simple scenario in which we have a login GSP with two-field username and password. When the user pressed login, it was forwarded to login servlet.java, in which we have a simple method to authenticate the user against a user's table inside database Oracle, and if his credential is okay, he was forwarded to welcome GSP and a welcome user message is displayed. Otherwise, it was stuck with the login.jsp file. And also, we configured log4j to catch and log any exception we might get and raised inside this login servlet. But sometimes we might have a severe exception in which we don't only want to log the exception inside a log file, but also we need to send a message into a queue. In our example, it would be a GMS queue, and there would be later a consumer which will pull up this message and send it by an email to the system administrator so he can take an immediate action. This was application. I will run it for you to remember it was going. As you see, it will come Sarah, for example. Now I want to go to Oracle and I want to expire the account of the connection. So let me write user password expire. Okay, now I want to test the user again. As we see here, you can an exception is raised. The password has expired, and also it will be as you see here, it's logged into this log file. Okay, now what I need to do is to send a message into a message broker. So our message broker is ActiveMQ. You first let me close this application. You should go here to visit this site, and in my case I downloaded ActiveMQ 5.11 release and extract it to my machine here. Okay, now after you extract it, you need to start it. You will go to the CMD, to the bin folder, and you will write ActiveMQ start. Okay, if it started, you can access it on this port, localhost 8161. Okay, and after that you need to create a message queue. So you'll right click here and you will go to queues and create your queue. Let's create and name it my queue, for example, and press create. Now this is our queue. You will need this name, my queue. Okay, memorize it. And also let me don't touch this application. I want to copy it and paste and give it a name, for example, GMS. Okay, this is our application. To send an email, I have a utility class. This is send email, send mail. I want to paste it here. This class also need to include uh, this dependency maven. Okay, now everything will be okay. Okay, this our get connection method, and this is the logging method here. I need to, for example, send GMS message to a queue. Okay, in order to do that, we should create two classes. One responsible for producing a message, and the second one will be responsible for consuming a message and handling it. I want to create a new class. Yes, but before I should add the ActiveMQ library to our class path. You will find it here in the installation folder of the Apache ActiveMQ. This is it. Open and press apply. Okay, now let's create our class again. Name it, for example, sender. Keep it in separate package. Give it a name, for example, GMS. Okay, first of all, I need a variable to hold our broker URL. It would be TCP and I also want to keep the name of our queue. My queue as we create on the console. Now let's create our method. Name it send message, for example. It will take parameter string. There are some steps we should go with them to create our producer. First is to create a connection factory. This connection factory will help us to get a connection to our message queue. So first step is to create a connection factory. Let's go and create connection factory. It's active. Okay, this one which will take a URL, we'll pass it our URL, and then it gives us error here. We need to import, yes, this one. We say connection factory. No, from the type connection. Get this point. Get. What's no problem here? Yes. Get. No, no, no. Yes. Yes, they get connection. Yes, it should be surrounded with try catch. Okay. Also like this to here. Okay, after we getting a connection, we need to start the connection. So I can say start, and after that we need to get a session to receive GMS or send GMS service. Here we need it to send a GMS. create session false, and here we'll say auto. No, it should be provided. Yes, it should be provided by session dot auto. It's hanging. Okay, wait a minute. Auto acknowledge. Yes, now after we get a session, we should define the destination. Here, destination is our queue. So let's create using our session. Now we want to pass our queue name here. Also, what it needs, yes. Now we need to create a message producer from the message producer class. Yes, and we'll pass it our destination. Yes, and now after we get the producer, we want to create a message from the type text message. Create text message. Yes, we will pass it the message which will pass from the method. Also, we need to import this class from. You notice all classes are provided by javax.gms. Now, after we get a message, we only need to send it. So we can say producer.send message. Now we need to close the connection if it's not null. Close. Okay, if we get an exception here, we print a stack trace. Okay, this is for the sender. For the consumer, somehow a lot of steps are needed, the same steps. So here we can say consumer. Okay, to have. Okay, I want to get this directly. I need them. I will need them inside. For example, consume such. Okay, of course we need also this. Okay, now what we need to change here is instead of getting message producer, we need a message consumer and we'll pass the destination. You also need to import this. Okay. Now after we get a message consumer, okay, we need to define a listener to this consumer. So whenever a message is pulled, we want to tell what to do with it. So we need a listener. We need to define a listener. The listener will be the same class consumer. So I will say consumer dot set message listener this. Okay, this set message listener is coming from the interface called message listener. So we need here to implement the message listener interface. Yes. Okay. Add an implemented method. Yes, the implemented method which we need to overwrite here is onMessage. So here we say whenever we get a message from the consumer, what we need to do. Here is the code which we need to write inside this method. So what we need to do inside this method, we need to send an email. Okay, for that, let's first say text. It would be equal. Okay, here, let's define it here. Let's say it's a message. Okay, and we want to cast the message we received from the method into a text message object. So we'll say text message. Okay, message. Okay, now I want to send this text message using mail. So we say inside try catch from the send mail file. I want to import this file. This is the send file. Okay, and then I will say dot send email. Here I will define the sender and the destination and the subject and the body of the message. Okay, let me say the sender, for example, would be my destination would be, for example, my personal mail. And here I will pass the subject. I need, say, for example, uh, getting connection failure, for example. And here I want to send the text message get text. Okay, now if I have any exception here, I want to print it. Okay, now let's test. Okay, I want to start the application now. Why? We don't need this application here. Let me start. Yes, this is the login GSP. This is our mail. What is this? Okay, remove it. I want to test Sarah, for example. Let's see what will happen. Okay, now as we see, this is exception throat again. Okay, but I want to check the message queue. There are no message inside it. Yes, why? Because we didn't call it inside the user DAO. Here, what we need to do is to okay, we'll say send. For example, let's create a message. Let's name it send message to admin, for example. Okay, okay, inside it we say now we get an object from the sender class which we already created. Not responding again, no problem. Yes. Okay, import it and then we'll say sender dot send message. Okay, the message, for example, I want to send, for example, severe, for example, get connection application can't get can't create, for example, connection to the database. Okay, okay, let's start again and say okay, now let's see if a message here appear. Oh, also why, let me restart. Okay. Okay, no message. What's happening? Add no exceptions also. What is the matter? On the user DAO. Yes, again we didn't call it. I'm so sorry. Yes, we'll say send message to admin. Okay, I'll say here. Yes, we get an exception. The problem here because we didn't add the ActiveMQ jar library to the lib folder here. We need to copy this to here. Yes, I think now I want to start this page again. Okay, now we get a connection severe error here, and it also come to here as expected. But what I need to check if there is a message inserted. Yes, as you see here now, number of pending message is 1 and message in queued is 1. Message queued is 0. Now if this consumer is working, actually this file or consumer should be always running, so you can modify this sample to run it infinitely using for example while true loop. Let me start it. I need to create here a main method. Yes, inside this main method I want to call the consume message. Okay, let's define an object from this class and say c dot consume message. Let's run this. Okay. Okay, now if we go here, the message is not consumed. What's the problem? I don't know. Why isn't... Okay, did I receive an email? Also, I didn't receive an email. Okay, did we miss something here? For example, okay, my queue. Okay, connection. We start connection. I think we closed the connection too early, so it didn't have much time to consume the message. We can omit this statement, or let's say uh, sleep, for example. Okay, no problem. No, no need for this. Surround it with try catch and let's see. Let's now run it again. Okay, now I want to see if... Yes, the message is gone. Okay, and let's check our mail. Okay, as you see here, for example, severe error at get connection application can't create connection database. Okay, that's all. Thank you.